Oh, there seems to be a problem with my webcam. Hold on. That's a good start. Hello everyone, welcome to our next stream, today's stream. Today we'll be continuing the Shopify theme development, but that being said, let me just fix my webcam. What the hell is going on here? That can be embarrassing sometimes, but there we go. There we go, that's better. Hello, welcome back. Currently I have 6 or how many is that? It's saying 12, but it's saying 6 as well, but welcome. Like I said, today we'll work once again on our Shopify theme development or Shopify theme project. And yesterday, just to recap, what we did is we worked on this. We worked on the collection page. That's what we did. And we created the filter, sorting the collections, the products inside of a collection by price, ascending and descendingly. And what else? Their dates as well, and by name, alphabetically order. So that's what we did yesterday. And after that, what we did is we used this color scheme group. Like it's a liquid object, but also it's like a type. It's a type of that's my mistake. It's a system. It's a schema setting. It's a type of input setting where you can create a color group, color scheme group, with like for buttons, for on click, for text, for background, and you can see that right over here. So we made this setting schema with color schemes, with a type color scheme group. That way, like all of your colors is just in one place. And it was quite challenging because number one, we don't really know how to access these values. And we realized that in order to access the values, we need to loop through the color schemes because apparently it's an array. It's an array of colors. So what we did is in theme.liquid, we created this root, and inside of it, we have loop through the settings.color schemes. And then for each color scheme, we created all these variables. So you can create as many color schemes as you want. It'll be, set up as a variable, as a CSS variable. So that's what we did. I mean, there are other ways to do this. There's another way, and that is going to, for example, instead of doing it here in the theme.liquid, you can create a new asset file. And you can call it theme.css.liquid. And it's a CSS file, but you can still use liquid objects, liquid tags, filters, etc. Maybe later on we can try to do that. But for now, what we want to do is to continue this, because currently we haven't used the colors yet. I mean, we did use the background. We did use the primary color, but we haven't used yet the on primary, on click, the borders, the secondary button colors, the text, the links, and icons. So that's the plan. But if you have any, suggestions, recommendation, questions, especially, feel free to do it in the chat and we can work on that. Okay? So let's do this. I know my VS Code is not readable, and that is the reason why yesterday we implemented, or we used the live share, where you can take a look at my code if you're interested. I think it's much better to do it that way you can see the code I'm working with. Okay, so I'll just create a URL. I'll make that as a readme file, and then not a readme file but a URL where you can just read instead of editing my project. So that should give me a URL, and I'll just put it in the chat and I'll pin it so that everyone can see it. And I'll just pin it like this. Okay, so everyone should see that and should be able to access my projects. Okay, so from Jahin, welcome. I think this is your first time here, from what I can tell. Do a particular project, like building a complete landing page from a successful Shopify store liquid code. I mean, technically that's what we're doing. We're building a Shopify theme, but we're doing it from scratch. We're also working on a landing page or the home page, but it's a lot of work because we have so many components that we need to set up first. We haven't done any collection section where you can display collections as a section. We haven't done the product section. There's so many things that we need to do. And we'll do that step by step instead of, doing it like what we're doing in the past. Because right now it's not supposed to be, we're not supposed to work on this, but it was a suggestion of like a viewer yesterday. But it was fun. I learned from it. But we'll get there. Okay, but first let's just continue this and finish it off. That way the viewer from yesterday, I think his name is Robbie. So shout out to you. So Robbie can watch this once again as a part 2, and he can like continue learning from me, I guess. Hey Bleach, welcome back. Nice photo. I got a new photo now. Welcome. All right, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so where are we? First of all, let's just let's do it like this. Once again, I've shared a URL in the chat if you want to see my code clearly instead of looking at the I know it's gonna be complicated as well because you're watching it live and you're looking at my code. It's quite impossible. So you know what? Forget it. I'll just zoom in. Forget it. So first of all, we're going to change our current directory to my live project folder, and this is where we're going to execute which one am I using? Okay, this one should be Shopify theme dev, and we'll do the same thing here. Live, come on, there we go. And we'll do here the npx tailwind css input, and should be src / tailwind.css, and output should be inside of the assets folder, and we'll call the file theme.css. I also mentioned yesterday that you can't really work with, if you're using Tailwind CSS, if you want to use object, that's quite impossible. Unless you have a final CSS file, then that's the time you can, basically convert it into a liquid CSS file if your design is final. Otherwise, at this moment, we can't yet. I changed my profile photo yesterday. Looks great. What is that anyway? Looks like a sky or a mountain. I can't really look at it. But okay. I'm looking at the Twitch. I don't think there's someone there. Hold on. Okay, let me just check my okay, thank you for sharing that. That is great. Okay, it's a mountain. Oh yeah, I see that. I thought it's like a sky. I mean, there is a sky, obviously. Okay, let's move on. So I believe we have set up everything, and we do have the primary button. That's great. But the thing is, we want to make sure that the text color, I want to understand first how we should implement this, the color especially, because I think the text color is more like for the buttons instead of the general text color, the overall text color. So I'm assuming this text color from the schema for color scheme is for buttons. So let's just go back to shopify.dev. Just put it here like this. Hold on. I should start preparing. Oh, what happened? Come on. Like that. Okay. I should start doing this like whenever I start my stream, but it is what it is. Let me just close this. I don't need it. Great. So here we'll open the menu and it should be the themes. And it should be architecture, settings, overview, and we should have here settings, input settings. In fact, it should be input settings. Hold on. Input settings, and we want to look at the color. Let me just search for it. Color scheme. There's one right here. So by the looks of it, there should be a diagram here. Yeah. Okay, so it's more like a general, the text color is more like for overall text color. There's no color specifically for like buttons. I see. So I guess we're not going to use the text color as a button text color. So what we're gonna do here, because currently we're just implementing all of our, style component here in theme.liquid, or maybe we should just do it in a separate file, honestly. So I'll just create a new file here in the assets folder. And this is what I was like talking about. You can create a CSS with liquid extension. That way you can call it like theme.css.liquid. You can call it like that. And then you can put here all of your styles. Like so. And you can still use liquid objects. That should still work. So let's try that. Let's see what will happen. So I have this the theme.css.liquid, and obviously what we're gonna do is we'll do the same thing like this. We'll reference that file. So it should be theme.css.liquid, and we'll use the filter asset URL and the style sheet tag. So style sheet tag, like so. So let's save that. Let me just open our CLI and open this one too. Okay, I think I remember my password now. No, I don't. So let's just go back here. All right, so it looks like it hasn't worked. So before we figure out what's going on, let me just go back to my admin. Hold on. Preferences. I think it starts with L. Yeah, I should lick K. I should remember that from now on. Oh, so by the looks of it, our style is now working. What happened? Let's troubleshoot. So it should be inside of the head tag. Let's take a look at the style sheet tag. So that's not it. That's not it as well. Link. All right, so here. So we do have two CSS files, theme.css and theme.css.liquid. Maybe the reason why it's not working is because it has the same file name, and that's not really ideal. Let's rename it to something else. For example, color scheme. Color_scheme. .css.liquid. Okay, and we can just rename this to color_scheme. .css.liquid. Save that. Let's go back here. It's still not working. Did we get anything from our console? So reference file used to apply style from, because it's MIME type. Okay, so I think I made a mistake of the assets file type. Let's go back to Shopify theme docs and let's open the assets. We should have here a reference at least. Maybe I made a mistake with file names. So I did the .css.liquid. For optimal pro, you should have a maximum of 1. Okay. I want to experiment something. Maybe this will work. Let me just turn off this. Hold on. Let me just erase that. And I'll run the same command, the npx tailwind CSS command, but instead of theme.css, let's call this example. Let's just test this. .css, but let's add .liquid. Let's do it that way. Execute that command, and that should do something. There we go. Let's go back here. Now we have the following file, example.css.liquid, and perhaps this is where we can, let's get rid of this color scheme. I'll copy that, delete this file, and what I'm gonna do is, for now, let's just leave it somewhere. Hold on. I'll put it here. From Cornell. Hi. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Hold on. So basically we're doing this experimentation once again. Sorry. Because it's just something that came to my mind and I want to try if this works. Now we can get rid of this. And instead of theme.css, we'll do example.css. Maybe we don't need to use .liquid. Oh, let's try that. Let's do this. Let's go back to our browser. There we go. Perfect. So you don't need to you don't need to add .liquid here. It's just example.css and that should be fine. Okay. Now I want to try something. In our src folder, we do have this tailwind.css. What I want to do is just to try it like this. I know this is not gonna work, but I want to try. There's nothing wrong if we try something. It's rebuilding. It rebuilt. Let's go back to example.css.liquid, and if we scroll all the way down, I want to look for that. Let's search for, what is it again? Primary button. This class. Okay. So it's still here. We have the primary button. We have the same settings that color schemes with first filter and append. Maybe this will work. Maybe this is gonna work. Let me just go to the chat. I'm fine, and you? I'm great. I'm actually pretty excited for today's stream. We'll be working once again this Shopify theme project. It's pretty exciting. Hopefully you guys can, you know, can learn something, at least a thing or two from me. That would be really nice. And from Reem, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Buterbala, with an accent. Hello, welcome. Just followed you one of your tutorial. Okay, thank you so much for watching them. Hope something that you enjoyed watching. Appreciate it. Great, awesome. So welcome to the stream, guys. If you guys have, as always, if you have any questions, requests, or you want me to do a backflip, no, we're not gonna do that. If you want to do something with the stream, let me know. It'd be great. From Adnan, hello, welcome back. Good to see you again. I'm having some issues, but trying to figure it out. That's great. I mean, it's always good to, have this mindset of like problem solver. You can do it. Ganbate. I don't know what I said, but you can do that. Good luck. From Ahmed Kayono, hello, welcome to the stream. This is great. I feel like the stream is doing so well these days. I remember the first few days that we streamed, we averaged 5 people, per stream. But now we're averaging 10 people per stream, and that is really nice. And I've also noticed that the stream is, or the views at least, is going higher. So that's pretty motivating, and I'm really happy to see that. Hold on, there's a question from Cornell. Let me ask you, will the tutorial for Countdown still work? It's a 2 years old tutorial. It should still work, to be honest. Yeah, I've taken a look at it a couple months ago. It should still work. Though, obviously, 2 years have passed, there's better way to do it, but the video should still be, relevant. I would say that. So maybe we can create that, in fact. We can create that component later on in the future. Because since we're building the Shopify theme project, there's so many things that we can do. So if you're interested, you can always subscribe to the channel and join us. And you can also join our Discord server. The link is in the description. Feel free to join us there. And I'll always announce whenever I'm about to do a stream, so you can participate and make this amazing Shopify theme. So that being said, let's continue. Now, it actually worked. Now that, because our Tailwind CSS is now creating a file that is a liquid CSS file, right? And that means in our src folder, in the Tailwind.css file, we can kind of, cheat a little bit. This is not gonna work. Technically, this is not supposed to work, but Tailwind CSS still recognize this as like, you know what? Maybe that's something like a variable or something. This whole thing here. But notice that there's like an error here. But it still worked, and it output the same thing that we typed, which is great. Now that we're using a CSS liquid file, this is going to be recognized as an object with a filter first and append. So let's take a look at our code or our Shopify theme. Let's refresh that. The CSS file is still working, still being applied. Now let's go to our collection page. it should be collections and automated collections. And yes, it's still working. The buttons is black. Now we can go back to the theme editor. There we go. Now it's updated. And let's open the collections and the default collection. And we can go straight to the theme settings, basic settings, and we have here the scheme. This is where we can change the colors of this. Let's try it. So we have the primary buttons. That's what we implemented as a primary button style, right? A class. So let's change this to something else. For example, this blue right here. There you go. Now it's updated to blue. Great. So that's really cool that we can actually, you know, kind of cheat with Tailwind.css. It's gonna be really, really easy to at least work with styling your components. So let's do that. Hold on, I think I heard something from Cornell just tipped. Thank you so much for the tip. You're the first person that really tipped me that big, so I appreciate that. You can also do like super chat. I actually want to do the super chat, but someone speaks what you guys are saying. I've watched this like stream a couple days ago, and for every super chat, there's like a voice that that says something, that reads the message. That's what I'm trying to say. Where am I going with that? But hey, of course, I'm not gonna forget about you, Bleach. You're doing amazing work as well. From Cornell, love your work. Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys are great. All right, so let's continue with this whole thing. We can also start, I guess, working with a secondary button now that that's working. So secondary button class, and we can do the same background color. And since we are lazy, let me just close that so you guys can see my code. We'll copy this, paste it here, and the same thing, settings.color schemes, same filter first, append, but we'll change this to secondary color. Okay, so now we have the primary button class and secondary button class. I guess that should be enough for this, unless we want to apply something for these buttons. So for example, let's go to product card, and since we have this anchor tag with the following class, text white, font medium, maybe we can just apply it straight to that CSS class. So let's do that. Let me just close this now because I don't need that anymore. Let's go back to Tailwind.css. And here, let's just make the font, I guess, should be font weight, right? Hold on. I don't remember CSS anymore. Let's highlight this. And we should have here all this. Oh, it should be font weight. Yeah, I was right. So font weight. And let's make it 500, just like what it says. And then what else? From Bleached, are we still working on our Shrek project? Yes. I mean, this is still the Shrek theme project that we've been building since the beginning. It's just that, I don't know, it's starting to be a little bit serious now. It's supposed to be a meme, it's supposed to be a joke, but I guess the reason why it's becoming like this, that's because we're just working on the templates for now. Later on, we can mess around with images, with products, instead of, you know, displaying those things. Hold on, sorry. Instead of displaying the snowboard, I guess we can use placeholder images from Shrek. I hope we don't get sued, to be honest. Imagine. Because I don't think this is legal, but we're not gonna make money out of this. I mean, am I making money out of this? Someone just tipped me, and maybe we'll get you sued from doing this. You know what? I'll start thinking about that. This is a big problem. But anyway, we should continue. Text align. I'll do the same thing. Text align. Should be center. Like that. And we can add padding. Padding top. Maybe we can just copy this. It's not a big problem. Like that. You see, we're getting all of this error, but just ignore it. Just ignore it. The reason why we're getting that, and that's because of this. So just ignore it. It's okay. All right. I'll do the same thing here. We'll copy that. Just paste it, I guess, at the top like so. And border radius, let's copy that. Paste it here like so. And I guess it's good. All right. We don't want to change the text white. I don't want to apply it there, though it's making me think. Let's just skip that for now. Maybe I'll think about that later. We'll do the same thing for the primary button class. Let's save that, and now we can go back to product card.liquid and get rid of all of this. We don't need that anymore. What about the font size? I don't think we added font size. No, we didn't. So where's that? Font size 0.85 rem. Let's just copy that. Both here and under as well. Okay. To be fair, instead of doing it like this, we can also kind of like simplify this in a way. Yeah, we can try to simplify this. I don't think this is really necessary. I'll just do another class, button, like that. That should be good. Also, if you're working with Tailwind.css, if you're working with Tailwind CSS, you can actually use apply and just like do this. Let's copy this, go back to Tailwind.css file and use the apply, and that should turn this into those utilities. Right, so let's just save that, and now we can copy this class and put it right here. Also, we can just move the text white here. Save that. I hope you guys are, understanding what I'm trying to do. But it's more of a CSS, Tailwind CSS workflow. So if we reload that, we still have the same thing. Didn't really change anything, but oh god, I hate this honey. Can we disable that? It's annoying. I'm not even using that. Remove. It's annoying. Is there an option? Annoying. Okay, that should be good. There we go. Now it's gone. Let's just highlight this button here. There we go. So you can see we have the button class, and we still have the same border radius, padding, text align, font size, etc. But we separated the primary button class. That way it's much cleaner instead of duplicating those utilities. Okay, perfect. Now we have the button. I guess we can start working on, for example, the text color. Maybe. Let's do that. So also I noticed that maybe I can put this in a component, right? Phew. It's crazy how much work goes into this. Damn. It's a lot of work. That's true. Especially if you start considering, for example, that color schemes. You need to think about making sure that they are organized and that they're easy to read, because working with CSS can be really messy sometimes because there's so many classes, and I've learned this in the past. Like, I worked with a developer and he literally wrote a single CSS file, style sheet file, and there's like duplicated button class, and it's just really confusing. So as much as possible, if you work with CSS, try to optimize it or make it less repetitive, I would say, if that makes sense. Okay, so I guess enough of that. Let's just continue with other things. Hold on. For example, I guess what else are we missing? If we go back to settings schema, we already used the background. That's good. The primary buttons. Okay, let's do the secondary. What would you reconsider? What kind of button should we consider it's a secondary button? Actually, should be able to click this. Oh, okay. So it's working. Oh yeah, because I remember in our hero section, we created like buttons, right? Yeah, we do have secondary button here and primary button. Perhaps we can now use those classes that we created. Like here. Remember? We have this anchor tag with a class inline flex, item center, justify center, so on. But now what we want to do is get rid of the padding X, 6, PY, margin bottom 2, text large. Now this is gonna be tricky. Okay, let's just get rid of this until the background green, the BG green 400, until here. Let's replace this with button, and button, was it primary button? It's primary button, right? Primary button. And then we'll just do the same thing to the secondary anchor tag here. Let's just put down the class like so, and get rid of the padding X, margin bottom 2, text LG, and the background gray 100. Replace that with the same class, but this time it should be secondary. Okay. That should start using the color scheme. Let's save that. Let's go back to our theme editor, and it should be the home page. And let's try to add those buttons. The reason why it's not showing, and that's because we don't have links. So let's try to add a link. For example, products. this thing right here. Now we have the get started. Great. The secondary button, let's add a link. Let's do page, contact. Great. So notice that it's now using the color scheme that we implemented. Let's save that. And let's go back to the theme settings. And in the scheme one, let's change the primary color to, I don't know, red. There we go. Now it turned into a red. What about the secondary button? Let's change this to blue. There we go. Now it's blue. All right. So perfect. Everything seems to be working just fine. I guess the next one is the on when we hover it, right? So let's do that. Let's save this and go back to the home page, because at the moment, even if we hover it, it's not really doing anything. So how do we do that? How should we do that? So let's go back to tailwind.css. We have primary button and secondary button class, but we also want to implement the hover. So it should be something like this. Dot primary button hover. And then we need to copy this. And this time we will add the on primary color. We will append the on primary color. But hold on, hold your horses. There's a typo. I believe we also need to start it with hyphen, because if we go back to the variables, notice that scheme1 hyphen on primary color. So always double check the CSS variable, how you wrote it. So hyphen on primary color, that is good. Now we'll do the same thing to the secondary button. Create that class. So secondary button, hover, and then you can just simply copy this and just add here hyphen on. Perfect. So now we can go back here, reload the page, and if we hover this, it's not doing anything yet, which is weird. Oh, there we go. Now we set it. Sorry. Let's just edit that. Let's go here, and I guess we just need to change this to something darker. Like dark. Like dark. So now if you hover it, I mean, you won't really see it. I will do that after, okay? So we'll do the same thing to the secondary color. We'll use the blue, but let's make it darker. Great. Let's save and go back to the home page. Now, if we hover it, now it's darker. Great. Awesome. So we're making progress. Now the color scheme is working. The button hover is working. I guess we can go to the next variable, and that's going to be the border, right? Let's do that. Go back to tailwind.css, and I believe we can honestly just do it here in the primary button, right? We don't need to separate it with another class. So just underneath of this, let's just do border. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna type it wrong because I have no idea how to do borders in CSS. Is there like an example? There's no example. So let's do that using Google. So CSS border. Okay, so there's this example here, I guess. From Wasilkan, thank you for subscribing. From Cornell, guess I will wait to you show us a new method to make a countdown. Yeah, that you can do. But I'll try to do it like next week. We'll do it next week. Promise. Okay, I'll remember that. Join our Discord server and I'll announce when the stream is gonna be, so you can join. But it's always gonna be same time like this. We're gonna be streaming like 3 hours, so we'll have plenty of time to do that. Thank you so much. Okay, so next week, I promise that we'll do that countdown. Great. So hold on. I just wanna use this as a reference. Yeah, I guess border, the size of it, solid, and the color. So border, the size, just make it, I guess, 1 rem, and solid, and then we'll just put here the same var function, and this time we'll append the one for the border. So it should be primary border color. Let's copy that, go back to tailwind.css, and just replace this with primary border color. Now we have the border. We'll do the same thing to the secondary button class. Paste the same border utility and just replace this with secondary. Okay. What are you working on now? Well, like I said, we are working on the color scheme. We worked on this yesterday. I don't think you were there. So basically what I'm just trying to do is just finish it. It was a long long process because we need to troubleshoot a lot of things, because it was also my first time doing it. This is not my way of coloring buttons, components, but I realized that Shopify released color schemes group, and I guess that's the new way of styling your components, your buttons, your background, your text, etc. So that's what we're doing. We're using the color scheme setting. So let's just close this now. I believe that should be enough. There you go. Now we have a huge border. Let's just reduce that smaller amount. Let's do pixel. I don't think we need to oh, hold on, maybe we can make it 0.1. It's still big. 0.1. Okay, let's make it a little bit more smaller. 0.5. Okay, I think that's good. And we'll do the same thing to the primary, right? It should be 0.05 rem. Okay. Let's go back here. Just wait for it to sink in a little bit. There we go. Now we can go back to the theme editor and change the color of the border for the primary. Let's make it red. I should change to red. And this one too. Let's make it blue. Perfect. Save it. And voila. We're done with the primary buttons, secondary buttons. Let's proceed with icons. I mean, we're not using icons a lot. And we don't want to change this. Yes, technically that's an icon, but not really. That's a button. So I guess we'll skip the icon for now. We're just gonna encounter that later on. What next? Text color. Okay, let's work with text color. What are the things that we have as text? This is using text, so okay, let's do that. For the hero.liquid, we should have here a bunch of paragraphs like this one, and its color is set to text gray 600. I guess we're going to do the same thing. We'll create a class specifically for text. So let's do that. Let's create a new, just for consistency, I guess. If I use Shrek, will I get sued? If you use the name Shrek in a way that would cause any confusion between your product and your... I guess we're not doing it. Is illegal, no matter if it's free or not. Whoever owns Shrek can strike you at any time. Okay, I guess we're not doing any more of this. Sorry about that. It's supposed to be fun, but we're just putting ourselves in so much trouble. So let's not do that. I apologize, Bleach. I know it's really disappointing. Great. Okay, I guess we'll just create a new class. Text, primary text. And we'll do the text color. Or no, color, sorry. And now we can start using the same var and then the object settings that color underscore schemes. I don't even know why I'm typing it manually. Just copy that. And then instead of background, it should be text hyphen color, correct? Text color. But don't forget the hyphen. Okay, now we can use this class. Let's save this. Let's copy the class. Go back to hero.liquid, and instead of text gray 600, we'll just use primary text. Let's put it at the start. Just like that. What else? For the hero heading title, it's using text gray 900. I guess we'll just replace that with primary text as well. Or no, hold on. Let's put it at the start, just like that. Let's just make sure that all text, like the heading title 1, the paragraph, is using those class, the primary text. This is a button, so no, we're not gonna do it here. This is a placeholder, so not there as well. Okay, so that's perfect. Let's save that. Go back to our online store. Now it should allow us to change the color of our text. So for example, here, we do have the text, change this to red. There we go. Perfect. Now it's much easier to style your online store. Now we can just do the same thing to other components, to be fair. So let's save this. And I guess we'll do the same thing to the links. They should also change. Okay, so let's go back to, now we can close the hero.liquid, we don't need that. We can close the settings schema, we don't need that as well. The settings data, we don't need that. Okay, let's work on template collection. There are plenty of text here, I believe. Or maybe not. This is an option. This is a select. Maybe not. There's nothing here. So let's proceed to the next section, and that's going to be this one. Okay, so we have a paragraph here. We'll just use here the primary -text class. Same here for the h1 tag. We'll use primary text. There seems to be a problem here. What is that? Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let me just double check. All right, I think it should be good. Save that. For this component, at least we're good there. Honestly, let's not make this like this. I think this is the hero, the image banner. This was the image banner. So let's rename that to that file. And I think this is a preset, so they should be able to at least change this. No, I was trying to say is merchants should be able to use this as a section, like by going to the theme editor. We have the Pintoli here. So that's it. Let's just rename this to image banner with text. Okay. Let's reload. And now we can just add here image banner with text, and they should have that. Okay. If you want by default to have this section, you can always go to your templates and the index.json, you can add your section here. So for example, let's add that image with banner. So image -banner with text. This is a section ID. So you can just put it here, just like that. And then it requires an object. For the type, we need to reference the file image banner.liquid. So just type image -banner. Without the .liquid, you don't need that. Just the file name. Great, so we can just go back to our home page. If we refresh this, we should have that component. Oh, so we should also work on this, the buttons. Let's close this. Now we can just focus here. We have two buttons that should be using the primary and the secondary class. So just put here primary button, and we'll also use the button class. Let's just copy this, put it here as well, and use the secondary button class. Now we can get rid of the padding Y, the margin, text LG. I don't think we need that. The font semi-bold, the rounded, don't need that. The background green, the text gray, no. Okay, so I think it should be good. Just button, primary, button. That's much cleaner. Don't need this as well. See, it's much shorter. Now we can go back to our home page, and now it should use the primary buttons and secondary button class. If you want, you can just always customize the spacing between those buttons. Since we're using flex, we can just use gap and then give it a size, like for example 4. That way there's a space between those buttons. Awesome. So that's great. We have now two components that is using the color scheme and also the class, the primary button and secondary button. And it's also whenever you hover, it's changing its background color. Awesome. So what else? I guess we can move on unless we are missing something, and that is the links color. At the moment, we don't have any text with links. Maybe if we start working with article, for example, the article template, maybe we can start using this variable. But you know what? Let's move on to the next thing, because I know it can be a bit, overwhelming with a lot of CSS customization here and there. So, okay, let's move on. What I'm gonna do is just reorganize our files, because previously we were using example.css.liquid, which is not very ideal. So instead, we'll delete this and replace the theme.css with theme.css.liquid. Okay? So here in the theme.liquid, first of all, what I'm gonna do is just change this to theme.css. Supposed to be like that. And then what I'm gonna do is restart our tailwind CSS command, the CLI, turn that off, clear the terminal, and just run the same npx tailwind CSS, but instead of example.css.liquid, this time we'll use theme.css.liquid. So let's run that. That should create a new file, theme.css.liquid. Now we can delete the theme.css. We don't need that. And also the example css.liquid. Let's delete that. Okay. Let me just minimize that like so. And close that. Close this as well. Now let's just go back to our online store. See if everything is still working. It is. So perfect. I think our files much cleaner and organized, I would say so. So now we can just push this. That way, if you guys want to check out the repository, which is in the link in the description below, you can check it out, the code, the changes that we made. It's all in there. Okay. So let me just commit all of this first. Should be semi-completed. And that's going to be for color scheme and applying new classes to buttons and text. I think that makes sense as a commit message. So semi-complete, color scheme, and applying new classes to buttons and text. Awesome. So let's just commit that and push it. Yep. It's going to ask me for a password. Once again. Oops. Okay. Great. Just take a break. How are you guys doing? Just have 6 people now. Was it confusing? Was it a bit overwhelming? I can imagine. Especially if you're new to CSS. Yeah, can be very, very overwhelming. Especially now that we're like kind of mixing CSS and liquid. Like on top of it, there's like objects, liquid objects. Yeah, it can be really, really confusing. Okay, so from Frances, welcome to the stream, by the way. We are great. That's great. I'm happy to know that. From Joseph, feels good. That's good. Great. So I'm happy to know that everyone's doing well. As always, if you guys have something to share, let me know. Kind of overwhelming, to be honest. I understand. It can be. I mean, it is overwhelming. I mean, I'm not gonna downplay that. But just to I'm good with CSS, so you pretty much understood what I'm trying to do here. But yeah, I can imagine for some people who doesn't really know CSS, yeah, you're just lost. I'm doing things and you're just like, what is happening? But basically, if you, especially for this part, you don't know what's going on, I already show it. Since this is an object which outputs a string, it kind of just like append the value of this to this. So it becomes a variable. And then for its value, it's basically the output of this object. Right? So it becomes like this. Since the value of scheme variable or object is scheme 1, now it's just basically appending that hyphen background. It becomes like this. So this whole thing here is basically this. And the value of this object, for example, the value of that, comments is not working here. So for example, the value of that is this hex, right? So this becomes like this, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this whole line here outputs this. If you're working with CSS, you know that, oh, this is a variable. But if you look at this, like, what the heck? What is that? But yeah, I understand. I hope that makes sense when I explain it. CSS is so much more difficult than it needs to be. CSS on its own, it's complicated. Even myself, I forget a lot of things with CSS, and you need to always use Google to search for those utilities. Like, how do you even, like what I did earlier, I don't know how to make the border. I have to search it as to get a reference at least. So yeah, CSS is difficult. And now that we're also applying liquid objects to it, it's more confusing. So I hope by me explaining that part, I hope it a little bit, made sense, any sense. So I guess we're done with this for now. Oh, by the way, this thing right here, we cannot get rid of that. I don't know why still we have that. Let's save that. Okay. And let's just push that. It's not supposed to be like that. Fix access body and primary button class in theme.liquid. Commit, push. Okay, hold on. Okay, great. Okay, so we should be good with that for now. Let's close this. The product card is good. image banner is good. What is the next template file that we should work on? We already did a template for 04. This one is good. Maybe we can now get rid of text gray here. And now we can just use primary text. And for this one too. You can use primary text. And there is a button here. Since this is a primary button, we'll get rid of the text green 800. And the font semi-bold. And to be fair, we'll get rid of everything. So button, primary, hyphen, button. So I'm just trying to apply the classes that we did. That way we don't have to go back to this. Okay. From Frances, don't you get tired of typing the password every time you are pushing? Actually, I do. But I set it up that way. And I'm just, actually, I got used to it now. Because right now, on my internship, we had to set up our local environment, and for every commit or for every push that we make, we have to type our password. So it became a thing. So I apologize if you will always see that. So that's more like my internship best practice. But yeah, if you're working with big project and if you're working with other developers, you need to do those. That way your commits are signed. If you guys are familiar with that. Okay. Let me just adjust myself. Whew, it's a bit cold. Great. Let's now close this. I guess we can continue and work on another component. Let me just try to zoom out because there's the login, but do we have login here? Do we do? Also this. So already have the customer login too. Now that we have a primary button, I guess we can just replace this. So it should be template login. And yeah, we can just get rid of this now. And use button, primary, button. So you can't say you pushed to prod by mistake. To be fair, I don't have access to the production. So basically, on my internship, we have like a repository, but it's more for testing. So that's where I work, and I push my commits there. And so basically, yeah, we call it the staging. So that repository is the staging. And when the staging repository is working, my boss will take care of merging the staging to the production. So technically, I don't have access to that. But yeah, so even if I make a mistake, that's the staging. So it's not a big deal. But it's also a good practice to have those passwords, to be fair. So you know, you're sure of what you're doing. Should you really push this to the staging, the production? You have that prompt of password. So I kind of like it in a way. Okay. So let me try reload this. I should be using the primary button. Great. Let's try log in. Do I have an account? I think I do. Bernard. I do. Okay. Here. Perfect. So we have the order. This is what we did in the previous stream, guys. If you missed it, it's all everything is on my YouTube channel. I don't think my Twitch is saving my stream. I should really look at that. So yeah, what I was trying to say is all of this has been streamed. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to say that. We worked on this in the previous stream. Oh shoot. Okay, it's supposed to be height bar. Return to account. What about this? Return to account. Yeah. You know what? I wanna look at this. Maybe I can see something that we want to work. Let's do a featured products component. Let's do that. Okay. So let me just close this and reopen the links. This one right here. Let's close this. Okay, we're going to create a new component, and that's going to be the featured collection. I think that's a good next project that we want to work on, at least. Create a new section, and we'll call it featured -collection.liquid. Is this something that you guys are curious about? Like building the featured collection? Let me know. Have any optation and you create all these necessary components, because featured collection is a necessary component for most Shopify themes. Image banners, it's important. Hero section, it's important. Featured product is important. You'll see that on every Shopify themes. So have any of you developed this component? Hold on, I'm getting errors. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Am I still streaming? I hope I am. This is worrisome. Is everything okay? Hold on. Let me just double check my stream. Okay. I think it's still working by the looks of it. No, it's great. I think it's good. It's also giving me a lot of warnings. I hope everything is okay. But anyway, by the looks of it, I'm still being streamed. So we'll just continue. Okay, I guess I'll just continue with the featured collection. Let's do this. So first of all, let's just create a simple div, or let's start with schema. And we'll call this featured collection. And then underneath of the settings, we'll create the presets, and we'll just give this a name of featured collection, like that. So there was some kind of hitch for like a second, but it's okay now. Okay. Yeah, I noticed as well because there was like on my control panel, it's saying that YouTube is not receiving any video. So that's kind of like worrisome. I hope. There was one time I streamed and then I received the same error and it disconnected my entire stream. LMAO from Bleached. I missed a bit because I was ordering. So could you please tell me what we are doing exactly right now? We are done with the color scheme. I wanted to stop it because I know it's overwhelming. Okay, so thank you, Victor, for subscribing. Welcome. Yeah, so right now we just want to build a new section, a new component, and that's going to be the featured collection. Right. That's it. We're just starting, so you didn't miss much. And we just talked for a little bit while you were gone. But welcome back and enjoy your food, I guess. Let me guess. You ordered something like chicken again. From Nathan or Newton. Welcome. Hello, brother. How you doing? I ordered lamb kofta. What is that? Yeah, I should really go out. What is that? Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna stream tomorrow. I'm going out. I'm living life tomorrow. Thank you for that. I'm not gonna stream tomorrow. I'm just gonna go out and eat. What about other guys? What are your favorite food? Where are you guys coming from, actually? I know Bleach is from Saudi Arabia or Dubai. I'm gonna search Google. Featured collection Tailwind CSS. This one. Bro, I don't know Python. Motivate me. You're asking the wrong person. I studied Python when I was at school. Just for a bit. We literally just have introduction to Python. And that's masters. You know, that's hilarious because you're supposed to learn the basics of programming in bachelor's. But when I took my master's, we still learned the basics of programming. Pretty ironic. I shouldn't be saying that, to be honest. Mine is, of course, butter chicken. I'm from India. Yeah, I know. I'm just messing with you. From Tunisia. I know someone from Tunisia. And maybe she's watching. I recommend Korean food. I love Korean food. In fact, I do love cooking them. That's usually what I cook. Python is great. Korean food is epic. True. I do have like classmates from Tunisia as well. But they barely talk to us now. What about others? From Adnan, Harshdeep. Yo, can we have more likes on stream? Yeah, please. Like me. I need that. But anyway, I guess we can just continue with the featured collection while you guys are talking about food. Keep talking about food. I need that. Tomorrow I'm gonna start looking around somewhere. I don't find any featured products. Tailwind CSS. I just need a reference that we can use, for example. I know it's just a bunch of cards anyway, so I don't even know why I'm doing this. To be fair, no, you know what? No, we're not gonna need this. I don't even know why I'm searching that, because we already have a product card snippet, so that we can make use of. So let's just create here, for example, a div. I just want to start this with tag, and it's supposed to be a section. There you go. Man, you should really try butter chicken from an authentic Indian restaurant. I will take note of that. Thank you, Bleached. What am I supposed to do again? Yeah, grid. Grid calls 1, but if we are in medium size screen, I want the grid calls to be 2. But if we are in large screens, I want the grid calls to be set to 4. I guess that's enough. And then let's give it a gap of 4. Yeah, perfect. So then we can just loop through for each product in a collection. We're going to create a setting for that. So let's create a type. It's going to be a collection. Let me just go back to the chat. Got you. Yo, my food arrived. I'll be right back. Okay. I thought you're already eating. So right now I'm just trying to create a new setting so that we can select a collection in the theme editor. So the type is collection. We'll just set an ID to this and we'll call it featured underscore collection. And this is what we're going to use here in the loop. So that way we can just say settings dot I'm doing this wrong. It's supposed to be section dot settings that featured collection. I lost myself over there for a little bit. Featured collection. Okay, and then here we can just reference the snippet file. So we'll use the render, and the snippet file is called product card, if I remember correctly. Snippets, product card. Okay, so go back here, use product hyphen card, and then we'll just pass here the product. So product, right? That's it. That's pretty much it. I guess we can just set another key here, and that's going to be the label, and we'll call it collection. Give it a label of collection. Save it and go back to the theme editor right here. And then now we can add a new section. No, just reload our page. It's not working yet. There you go, we should have featured collection. If you click that, we should be able to select a collection. And let's say we want to select automated collection. Select. And it is not displaying anything at the moment, which weird. So let's just double check the product. For each product in section.settings, featured collection, we render the product card. Why is it not displaying anything? Let me just try to output first the value of section.settings dot featured collection. It should display a value at least. So it's not. Oh yeah, there it is, automated collection. Therefore, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong, am I? Let's go back to Shopify Dawn. I want to use a reference, at least. We know what we're doing. Sections. There should be featured collection here, this one. Okay, so section.settings collection all products count. Tuck. Oh yeah, we need to use the products. I forgot about that. That products. Save it. Give it a bit of time. There you go. All right. So we just need to make sure that we're also using the products attribute. Almost forgot about that. All right, so we already have, it's pretty easy. Now that's the reason why it's always a good idea to create your snippet files for each smaller part of a component. That way you can reuse it whenever you encounter something like this, like featured collection. It makes your work faster. So for this, we have a featured collection section. All we need to do is just to loop through the selected featured collection in the setting and just render the snippet. That's it. And we have this. That was quick. Now the problem is, what if we haven't selected anything? What if there's no selected collection? It's just going to display an empty an empty section. Correct? So we also need to fix that. Most of the time, if there's no selected collection in the featured collection section, what you should display is a placeholder card. And that's where you're going to create another snippet file. And that's for empty card. Sometimes we call it product card empty.liquid. And that's what we're going to do next. To give you an example. From Bleach, watching a programming stream while eating. I need to touch grass soon. Yeah. Let's go out tomorrow. Guys. It's time to live life. It's pretty ironic I'm saying that. So let's just get rid of the collection that we selected and notice that it's gone. What we want to do is do the same thing. We're going to display hold on, I lost my words. A placeholder. We're going to display a placeholder card. So here in the snippets, we'll create a new file and we'll call it placeholder product card.liquid. Just like that. And we can just copy whatever we have here. Let's copy that, paste it here, but instead of using real objects, we'll just replace this with something like product title. And we'll get rid of the href. In fact, we can just replace this anchor tag with span. We don't need to make it into an anchor tag, to be fair. Like that. Next up, for this, we also don't need to make it into an anchor tag, so let's just get rid of this. But we still want it to be a heading title 3, that's fine. Hold on, let me just undo. I think I'm making a mistake. No, this is supposed to be the featured image. This is supposed to be the product title. Yeah, I lost myself over there. I don't know what's going on with me. No, I'm thinking of food. No, the bleach is eating. I'm just really hungry right now. How long have we been streaming? Almost 2 hours. We still have an hour left. And after that, I'm gonna eat. Okay, this is good. But this right here, we'll replace this with a placeholder image. So what we're gonna do, we'll create an object and should be product-1, and we'll use the placeholder svg tag, and for its size we'll set it to 512. I think that's what I did earlier. Let's go back to product card. We're not even using any placeholder here, so we should also fix that. So what if the product doesn't have an image? You should always think about that. I mean, by default, if a product doesn't have an image, Shopify will automatically show an image like no image. But as a developer, Shopify developer, you should always think about those things. If there's no image. What we're trying to do is, I'm going to search. Where's the search? Here. So placeholder underscore svg tag. Okay. So we're using all of this. Oh, there's a new bunch collections. Illustrations, I meant. There's a lot of new illustrations. Let's try that. I'll replace the one I was writing here with this product apparel 1. And we can use the same filter, placeholder, svg tag. No, this is not gonna work here. What I'm gonna do, I'll just wrap that into a div. Just like that. And give it like a width full. Okay. Let's save it. And now let's go back to the featured collection. And instead of like doing it like this, we can use between that and else and render that placeholder snippet file. So placeholder product card. And you don't need to pass any variable like this. It should be fine. Now if we go back to our theme editor, save this. No, let's just reload it. Okay. Scroll down. We still have the collection. Let's remove it. No, it's just displaying this. All right, there's an error. Invalid URL input. Line 8. Line 8. Oh, it's here. Get rid of that. No, it's line 3. Save it. That's annoying. Let's get rid of this collection. And now we should display this. Since there's no collection, it should just display a placeholder image or a placeholder card. But there's something wrong. It's just displaying 1. We should have like 6 items of it, just to make it look like a bunch of items, right? So how should we do that? Well, you can always make another for tag here. But to be fair, I don't recommend it doing like this. But it's fine. You know, making it nested. Is this gonna work? I've never done this, to be fair. What I usually do is I check first if section.settings.featured collection has a value, then I loop through. Otherwise, I loop through with other collection. So, for example, here, let's just do for I in a range 1 to 5 or 1 to 6. I display this render tag. So now, oh, it's still working. So you can actually nest it. It's fine. So this works. You can nest your for tag. I don't remember doing this, honestly, like nesting my for. Okay. I guess we can just fix the image because it doesn't look nice. It's overflowing. So what you want to do is give this a width. Like, let's try that. And let's give this a relative class. Ooh, not working. What if we get rid of that? No, it's not working. What did we do with the product card? It's not even using any class either. It's just using a width. So that's a problem. What if the image is big? Okay. Let me just zoom out. Yeah, that's not gonna look nice. For this, what I usually do is I use... Okay, the reason why it's like that, that's because it's an SVG. Okay, that makes more sense now. I know what to do now. We need to pass here a width, a class. There we go. That's pretty much it. Because we're doing it in the div, not in the SVG file, SVG tag instead. Okay, I guess that looks great. right? If there's no collection selected, then we'll display this placeholder. But if there is a collection, we'll display this. Okay? All right. You know what? I can't actually focus right now because I'm so hungry. I'm trying my best to focus on my work. Man, I'm so hungry. I want to eat. Should I like stop the stream now? It's just 2 hours. It's so tempting. Like I wanna end this now. I mean, we did quite a lot already. We finished the color scheme, not completely, but it's semi-completed. That's enough. That's good enough for me. And we did a new section, and that's the featured collection. That's also a lot already. Next week we're going to do the requested section. Someone, I think it's Cornell. Yeah, Cornell requested that, and next week that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the countdown, because I remember. Let's just go to my YouTube channel. This is going to be a bit cringy. This one, countdown. Yeah, we're gonna do this. In this video, we're going to this is what we're gonna do next time. How did I do this? I don't actually remember doing this. Oh yeah. So just a bunch of settings, but I believe I also wrote, yeah. I want to take back what I said. It's 2 years ago, but it's using this library. Is it still being maintained? I want to look at that. Oh wow, it's like 8 years ago. I'm not sure if this is still gonna work. There's no issues anyway, so perhaps it's still working. Yeah, this is what I gotta do next time. Okay. We'll just build a section and display a countdown. Oh, you get an error somewhere here. So that means this is not working anymore then. Line 4. Have you checked? Like your attribute, is it right? If this is line 4, then you're basically missing something then. Like perhaps the target is undefined, for example. How did we... Why am I on speaker? Okay, there it is. Let me just go back to the chat. Hey, Amina, welcome back. Can you make the live as a premiere on YouTube so that we know when the live starts? Yeah, I can do that. But to be fair, I'm also like announcing it on Discord. I'm saying like, oh, I'm about to stream in like 10 minutes from now. I know it's not really enough time. But okay, I'll try my best to do that, to make a premiere. I did that in the couple streams ago. I added a premiere. It's okay. I'll try that. I'll also make a video to do those countdown Like stream is about to start in 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, I'll set it up properly. I'm playing around with it. If you notice in today's stream, if you just go at the beginning, I just messed around with new countdown thing feature from Stream Elements. So yeah, I'm trying my best to improve the stream. Yeah, we'll do better. Thank you for the recommendation, for the feedback. I appreciate it. From Cornell, maybe I did something wrong then. Maybe. Because you should double check. For example, it's supposed to be like this, right? You should have an attribute data time as well, and data date. Let's take a look at the demo. If this is still working, that means, oh, that means it's not working anymore? If not, then I'm embarrassed. I actually used your content video for a client a while ago. It worked. So that means it's still working. But now that I'm taking a look at it, maybe it's time to update it. Maybe. Let's do that next week. Inside this, we need to apply a set of options. Let's just end this with some code. First is the element. So we have here the countdown ID. First of all, it's so I never do this. I never watch my videos a lot, my own videos. But looking at my one of very old videos, I don't know, I'm quite impressed. What's the most lucrative in terms of efforts or reward between Shopify app development and theme customizations? That's a good question. What is a reward? To be fair, I can't think of something. Because I'm trying to put myself into your shoes, because right now I don't really look at myself as a Shopify developer, but more like a an instructor or someone who teaches Shopify development. Am I a Shopify developer? Sometimes I don't even see myself that way, especially right now. So yeah, trying to answer your question. What is something? Between Shopify app development and Shopify theme development? I think if you can get people to subscribe to your app, then I think it's much more scalable. Yeah, I agree with that. But there's also many things that you need to also look at, not just that. I'm trying to think. But I can't because I'm really hungry. This is so stupid. I'm sorry. I can't think of a good answer for that. Between Shopify app development and Shopify theme development, they're both the same anyway. In a sense. Let me get back to that. I want to get back to that question later. I'm trying to go back to my past and see what are the things that the most lucrative as a reward for being a Shopify app developer and Shopify theme developer. I'll get back to that. Okay? I'm trying to lose it now. Oh, hold on. Tuck. Hold on. From Rafi, hey, welcome back. How you doing? Give me a minute, guys. I'll just I'm trying to think of answer to that question. What is the most lucrative in terms of reward? Well, okay, now I think I know what to say. That took me a while. Now I remember, because if you start building a Shopify app, for example, Shopify doesn't really take cuts from your revenue, especially right now. Unless if you make $1 million. I think that's the amount, right? Revenue cut. Shopify app. Shopify partners. Yeah. That. The revenue share. I would say that's the benefit, the most rewarding when you work with Shopify as a Shopify developer or Shopify theme developer. Like, your revenue is all yours unless you make $1 million. That would be my answer. In the past, no. I think years ago, they're taking cuts. But I don't know what happened. Now they're not taking anything anymore. Though I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So yeah. That's the first thing that comes to my mind if you're asking for something rewarding if you work with Shopify as a partner. I mean, there's also many things. Like, for example, as a partner, you can make referrals. I remember when I was writing articles on WeeklyHow, or even like as a content creator here on YouTube, I always announce the referrals, the referral links. If you want to build like an online store, you can use my referral URL and I get a profit. That's also like a rewarding experience if you work as a partner with Shopify. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Hold on. All right. I think we can just go back to the countdown. I want to review it. Oh, you can't. I adjusted it a little bit.
So first target, that's the element. So countdown ID, and then day word, the days that you want to display in your labels, in your span class word, and then the rest is just for labels, honestly. So we can just hit save. Let's open our homepage, hit refresh. All right, so it's now working. I think we have a problem. Let's just open the console. So identifier countdown has already been declared. All right, so I think we need to change the variable.
Oh yeah, maybe you can check your console as well for Cornell. Maybe it's producing something there. It's always good to check them out.
Something else. So var instead of countdown, we can just call it date down, something like that. Hit save. Let's open our browser again or our homepage, hit refresh. And there you go, now we have the following countdown timer. So the next thing we're going to do is just to design this. So let's just go back to the editor and let's open the...
So I guess that's pretty much the first thing that you should look at. You should have them targeting this element with an ID countdown. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that next week. I guess I'm just gonna end the stream here. I wanna eat. Sorry if it's a bit too short, but I'll do the next stream longer, I would say. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. Honestly, I don't know how to end this. It's always a challenge for me whenever I'm about to end my stream. Because sometimes I feel like I don't want to leave. I'm having fun with it. But I'm just really, really hungry, and that's Bleached fault. Before I leave, what are you guys what is your favorite food? The others. I'm gonna look it up. Give me like a name of your favorite food. Because I'm going out tomorrow. Look something to eat. But thank you, Amini, for the message. Bon appetit. French tacos. Oh yeah. Yeah, I had this when I was like at school. They're great. Yeah, give me more. Korean barbecue. Korean bangs. Yeah. Whenever I do this, I just burn my entire meat. But you get my point. I'm not good at this. Who else? Now that you mentioned that, I'm probably just gonna go out tomorrow just to go to a Korean barbecue shop. I know a place in Paris. It's been a while since I went there, and whenever like I go there, I take their milk tea. They're good as well. And it's ironic because I know this is quite embarrassing, but whenever I take their milk tea, I don't add sugar and I don't add the pearls, the sugar pearl. What do you call them? Milk tea, black pearls, right? Yeah, the black sugar. What do you call it? the pearls. These things right here. So basically, I'm just ordering a milk tea. That's all. There's no pearls whatsoever. But it's great. I love them. My favorite is Ubi. Ubi milk tea. I don't know if you guys know that. Ubi milk tea. This one is so good. Okay, enough. I'm gonna leave. Guys, thank you so much for joining today's stream. I appreciate the progress that we made today, and also shout out to Cornell. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Your name is gonna be somewhere. I don't see your name in the donation window. How did you donate? That's a good question. That means I'm gonna need to fix that. Because all of this is just super chat. Oh yeah. Because that window here is on the bottom right corner of my video is just all super chat. So you won't see your name there. So that's what I'm gonna fix again. It should also include donations. Okay. I'll fix that next week. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. As always, if you haven't joined our Discord server, feel free to check out the description below. You will see a URL there. You can join Discord server. It's there. And also, if you want to support the channel, there's also a URL there where you can buy our merch. You can go to weeklyhow.shop. You'll find my merch. Actually, I'm not wearing it. Ironically, I should be wearing it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll do this again next week. I'll announce the next stream on Discord, but I'll also make a premiere so that Amini can will know when I'm about to stream. Okay? All right, I'm about to end this now. Thank you once again. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye. Take care. Be kind to yourself, to everyone. Love you. Bye-bye.